un anglophone. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'aventure? Ah, mais c'est le président. Un pauvre qui vote ou celui qui l'a rendu pauvre. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'étranger? Ah, mais c'est le président. À l'Assemblée, il y a un vieux. Vraiment. Au Sénat, il y a un vieux. Wonderful. À la présidence, il y a un vieux. Dans tout le gouvernement, il n'y a que des vieux. Des vieux, des vieux. Des jeunes prennent le chemin de la limite pour devenir des esclaves. Les jeunes prennent la route du désert pour entrer en Europe. À l'Assemblée, il y a un vieux. Venez Pouco. Au Sénat, il y a un vieux. À la présidence, il y a un vieillard. Dans tout le gouvernement, il n'y a que des vieux, des vieux, des vieux.
Hi. Happy Sunday, the beautiful people of the Cameroons. The beautiful people of La République du Cameroon, the country that had its independence on the 1st of January 1960. And the beautiful people of British Southern Cameroon, a country that had its independence on the 1st of October 1961. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndive Lesinge. British Cameroon National Party is a party that believes in independence. We believe that France should not be controlling us. France should not be making our money. France should not be controlling our monetary policy, money supply, interest rate, devaluation, and what? La République du Cameroon surrendered its sovereignty to France in 1959. So we want independence. We don't want to be controlled by Macron. We don't want to, after major national dialogue, to say, je m'avais renté comme à Macron. We don't want people who are governors in La République du Cameroun to say, je suis meilleur élève to a French president. Ladies and gentlemen, British Cameroon National Party want Africa for Africans. We cannot wait for our freedom. Some people choose and say Macron is the de facto president of La République du Cameroun. I don't want that. And if I say I don't want France to control me, what's wrong with that? Article 65 of the Constitution of La République du Cameroun says we have the right to self-determination. So if Mr. Bia Ngongo, they want France to control them, that's their business. I am an African and I want Africans to control their continent. That's what British Cameroon National Party stand for. Ladies and gentlemen, today I've come to talk about error of judgment. Error of judgment. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody talks about this in the Cameroons. Before you become a leader, whether you're a governor, whether you're a president, whether you're a member of parliament, whether you're a senator, whether you're a councillor, there's something called in democracy error of judgment. Maitre Mola Alex Divelisinghe today wants to tell the people what no government official is talking about error of judgment. No non-functional opposition is talking about it. So today, for the first time in the history of the Cameroons, Maitre Mola Alex Divelisinghe, the only genuine opposition leader in the Cameroons, is going to tell you today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is vital in every walks of life, whether you're a medical doctor, whether you're a pilot, whether you're a teacher, whether you are a nurse, whether you're a lawyer, whatever job architect, there's something called error of judgment. Error of judgment. You cannot be a leader once they say you have that error of judgment. You need that judgment, that ability to reason in order to be a leader. So once more today, I want to tell you, the government of La République du Cameroon is made up of people who don't have the ability to assess and think and do things. In the United Kingdom, in the British culture, when you have that error of judgment, it doesn't matter who you are. What you usually follow is what? Resignation. You resign from your job. So today, I want to talk about error of judgment. It ranges from what? Political damage, resignation. There's something in the United Kingdom called Ministerial Code and accountability that governs ministers' conduct. It outlines the standard that is expected from state ministers. There's also something about standard in public life too. All these things they're governed. Nobody have ever talked about it in the Cameroons. People only come. People who they have skeleton in their cupboard, whether it's in the government side or opposition in the Cameroon. I know it, but I don't say it because in the Cameroons, we are not ready for democracy. Some of these people, they come and say they are opposition. If you say what their life, you say what they do, I'm sure you put it in public, they will finish. But in Western country, Western democracy, you put those things in public. Ladies and gentlemen, error of judgment simply means, I'll give you a common example, why people resign in the Western country. If you look at President Paul Biya of La République du Cameroun, he has put most of his ministers and top government officials, he has imprisoned them. I say him because it's not usually the court. Paul Biya is head of the judiciary in the Cameroons. If you look at people like Abba Polycarp in jail, Ondomdom in jail, Atanganakuna went to jail, Tuti Sezwa was in jail, Mebengo was in jail, still in jail, Desiree Engo in jail, Mendoza was in prison. Ladies and gentlemen, when you take people who are your minister in the Western country like United Kingdom, people that you lock them up because of fraud or crime, they question the judgment of the president, Mr. Biya. Have you got that judgment, that ability to run a country, that most of your ministers and top officials are criminals? In a Western country, Mr. Biya, they will deem him, you're not fit to run a country, you will resign. That's what they call error of judgment. You don't bring people that are criminals, thieves, or what? You see some people in the Cameroons, they say Biya is entitled to kill everybody. You don't have that type of a person. A governor will call human beings that they are dogs. Is it Okala Bina? If you say such a thing, you have to resign because it's against Ministerial Code of Accountability or public life standards. You have to resign because people in public office are held into high esteem. Their standards are very high. Atangananji say what? I will molinex people. You question his error of judgment. That you will molinex human being. In the Western world, in UK, Atanganji will resign based on the error of judgment. Ladies and gentlemen, ministers in democratic country, they are accountable to the parliament. They are expected to provide accurate and truthful information. If you knowingly mislead, whether it's parliament, the consequence is that what? You resign. You resign. You give your resignation to the member of parliament. And again, if the president keep on appointing people like Abba Polycarp, Ondongdong, Atangakuna, Titi Sezwa, Mebengo, Desiree Engo, Mendoza, and they keep on doing what they are doing. You question the judgment of the president. And in a normal democratic country, President Paul Biya of La République du Cameroon should have resigned. That's how it works. That is how it works. In the United Kingdom, usually, when you have that error of judgment or mistake, there's an independent advisor on ministerial standard who will investigate the breach of the code. Once they investigate it, they give that advice to the Prime Minister. And if you have breached the code, either you resign voluntarily. If you don't resign, what happens? The Prime Minister will sack you. But we have never seen that in the Cameroons. Recently, ladies and gentlemen, the Vice Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, of the United Kingdom, resigned. Why? She said she made an error, she bought a house, she did not pay the real full tax or what. She resigned. She failed because of what? Error of judgment. They are professionals in the UK. She should have gone there and asked advice on how to pay the tax. She did not do that, so she resigned. A couple of weeks ago, not too long. Couple of weeks ago, Lord Madison, British ambassador to America, he had a relationship with a sex offender, Epstein. And that Epstein in America was convicted of sexual offenses. What happened? Peter Mandelson, they sacked UK ambassador to America, saying, oh, you're my pal, you're my friend, you're my best bull, I'll always be behind you. They sacked him because there is a high standard we expect from our state ministers. In 2011, Liam Fox, the Defense Secretary of the United Kingdom, invited a friend to gain access to official meeting. He made an error of judgment. He resigned. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are living in the Cameroons. The government of La République du Cameroon is not accountable to any person. They think election is democracy. Democracy is more about transparency and accountability. You cannot be the referee and you be the footballer, the player. That's what is happening in the Cameroons. The opposition political party, they have skeleton in their closet. Most of them have been in bed with the government of La République du Cameroon, chop people the money, CPDM, and they continue to be there. They just come to legitimize them. If you look at all the opposition leaders, none of them, they are not clean. When you ask them to come and stand and answer questions, they control you. They don't want you to ask questions. In question is your public life and your private life. Have you done things in your life that your judgment can be questionable? That's what you do in politics. But most of them, they are afraid. They go and see journalists. They arrange what question they should ask them. It doesn't work that way in politics. Maître Mola Alex Ndive Lisinge want to have that debate with all the opposition leaders. If you want real question, come and sit on the same platform with me. Stop going around playing like Mr. Biya La République du Cameroon government, because you're doing the same thing, all of you. You play the game like them. You do the same thing. When you make error of judgment, you should resign. Don't appear after 7 years you're opposition. What have you been opposing? Show me your manifesto. I don't know whether most of you have manifesto, because you don't even still know what's a manifesto. I had one somewhere here, Tony Blair's manifesto. I don't know where I kept it. Manifesto is a comprehensive thing on economic, on how to fight crime, on transport, on justice, on forestry, on agriculture, on equal opportunity, on local government, on equal status for the case of the Cameroon, on how you're going to stop the Anglophone crisis. You stated how it's going to work. Stop saying that you're going to pardon Anglophones who are in prison. Anglophones in prison, they have done nothing. They have done nothing wrong. They were applying Article 65 of the Constitution of La République du Cameroon, the right to self-determination. It is alleged that Bello Buba and Issa Chiruma, they were part of the coup d'etat that they tried to overthrow President Paul Biya of La République du Cameroon. Why is it that they are not in prison? Who pardoned them? But when an Anglophone say want equal status, use your ENAM, use your ENS, use your gendarmerie, use your Napoleonic Code and your France CFA in La République du Cameroon. Let's use our own institution. You say they are secessionists. Who seceded in 1984, Mr. Biya? So ladies and gentlemen, forget about what these people are saying. The government of La République du Cameroon is illegitimate. They changed Article 47 of the Constitution of the country. They were not meant to do it. It has been alleged that the 1992 election was rigged. If you rig election, it doesn't make you eligible. These people are afraid. They know they don't want to leave power because the day they leave power, they will go to Kondenge or they will go on exile. So ladies and gentlemen, you be the judge. You, the government of La République du Cameroon, have they got that ability to make sound judgment when you appoint criminals like Abba Polycarp to be ministers on Dong Dong, Atanganakuna, Titus Ezwa, and the rest? So once more, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a party political broadcast by myself, Maître Mola Alex Ndiveli. Have a wonderful day.
On était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'étranger? Avec le président. À l'Assemblée, il y a un vieux. Vraiment. Au Sénat, il y a un vieux. Wonderful. À la présidence, il y a un vieux. Dans tout le gouvernement, il n'y a que des vieux. Des vieux, des vieux. Des jeunes prennent le chemin de la Libye pour devenir des esclaves. Des vieux,